Good morning. Happy Easter weekend and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Miranda Peters
and Hallie Kilberg. We've got a hoppin' show for you today, and just like your Easter eggs, we're dying to get right into it.
In segment 1, Hallie and I will be here interviewing Jim Klein to find out about Marquette's upcoming fundraiser, The Magic of Children.
Then, in segment 2, 5th grader Eli Scott will be here discussing DARE graduation, which took place on Tuesday night.
Then Justina will be here talking about Take 6.
Up next, Jeb and Garrett will be taking some time to fill you in on the Marquette sports.
Molly and Maura will kick off segment 3 with this week's senior interview.
And Miranda and I will be explaining all of next week's upcoming happenings as we look ahead.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, and this is no joke, you'll find out that tomorrow is Easter Sunday.
Though in the secular world, the day focuses on bunnies and jelly beans, the true meaning of Easter is the commemoration of Jesus' resurrection from the dead.
Now, though we realize that nothing can compare to Jesus' coming back to life, there are some other pretty fascinating facts about the holiday. Here's one of them. Enough jelly beans are consumed on this date to encircle the globe 3 times.
Also, we all know that eggs are popular at Easter time, but do any of us know why? Well, there are many theories. Some say eggs represent new life, but also, even in medieval times during Lent, Christians gave up something for the 40 days of Lent. The most common things given up included meat, milk, and eggs.
Of these 3, eggs lasted the longest, making them the perfect indulgence on Easter morning.
But eggs aren't the biggest food eaten at Easter. Of the $1.9 billion that Americans spend on Easter candy, 70% of that is chocolate. And I'm guessing that children aren't responsible for that full 70%.
But children are responsible for the magic.
We're here today interviewing Jim Klein, Marquette's Director of Development, on our upcoming fundraising event, The Magic of Children. Hi, Mr. Klein. Thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me, Hallie.
For those of our listeners who don't know, The Magic of Children is changing locations this year. What prompted the move?
Well, we talked about it actually pretty excessively this year, but we wanted to showcase our new facility, and we thought what better way to showcase the new facility is to have our biggest event of the year at it. So that's kind of what we looked at, and it's going to be a challenge this year, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Can you give us a little layout of where everything associated with the event will be happening?
Yeah. The event will be taking place, the main event will be taking place at the Multifunction Center, which is right where you walk in, right across from the church. The plan is I know Father Cruzy is planning on moving the Mass time up to 3:15, so it'll be a lot easier for people just to walk right across the parking lot, right into our new facility. So the majority of the stuff that will be taking place in the multifunction, but the silent auction will kind of lead its way right into the lobby area of the MEC.
What kind of raffles or auction items do we have this year, and is there any way I can find out what's being auctioned before the event?
Absolutely, that's a great question, Miranda. We will have the large grid item is available anytime, and what it is this year is it's an all-inclusive trip to Estes Park, Colorado, which includes a 7-night stay at a beautiful retreat house, and also there's a $1,200 travel voucher and a $500 spending cash voucher for the week. And then as far as the rest of the items, they will be available online next week. My plan is to have them available early next week, and it'll be on our website, marquettecatholic.com. Also, the silent auction items will be available on Saturday, and you can start your bidding on Saturday at biddingforgood.com. And then you just need to look for Magic of Children. So all of those items will be available for bid on the 31st. So start your bidding soon and bid often.
So each year there's a special Helping Hands feature. Can you tell us a little bit about the Helping Hands part of the evening and what feature needs are this year?
Yeah, we usually try to pick 4 items that are in need in the school. We usually look at sports, academics, facilities. This year we have 4 of them. We are actually doing a big move within the elementary school this year. So that is one of the big items that we are looking at this year is some help in the elementary school. needed to be. We're looking at new ceiling tiles. We're looking at cosmetics as far as paint is concerned. We're looking at some plumbing. We're looking at maybe some carpet tiles that we needed to put in. That would be the biggest item that we're looking at. The next one is the need of new smart boards for the elementary school. Next item is we're needing, and the weight room equipment is being used quite a bit nowadays. The coaches have a great program for that, and we're looking at getting some new weight room equipment along with a track record board. And the last one is to purchase new microscopes and balance equipment for our science department. We will use those within the high school, middle school, and it'll even go back into the elementary school a little bit. So that is something that we're very excited about because science is very important to us.
Can you tell us about when the auction starts?
Absolutely. On Friday, we have a preview, and that goes from 6 until 8. That's when you can get your tickets for the event. You can also get your bid number, and you can look at all the silent auctions. We will have all of those silent auction items. We'll have those all present that night. The night of the event, we're pretty much having everyone come over right after Mass, which is at 3:15. So we're guessing right around 4:15 is when people will start coming in to eat. We're pretty much having that available to them until 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock is when we introduce the 4 honorees, the 4 couples from the 4 different parishes. And then at 7:30 is when our live auction starts. So, and that usually goes until about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So, one thing I do want to talk about as far as the honorees, we have 4 honorees from the different parishes. Barb and Joe Lyons from St. Catherine's, Jim and Rose Coos from St. Donatus, Jack and Anna Mae Tebby from, which Hallie knows very well, from the St. Peter's and Paul parish, and Lester and Leanna Mickles from St. Joseph's Parish. So we're very excited to honor those. That's one of our highlights for the night.
Okay, and finally, what is the number one reason that you would say people should support Marquette's Magic of Children fundraiser?
I can sum it up in one word: students. I mean, our students are very special to us, and without everyone's help, we wouldn't be able to give them all of the things that they need to make things work. So this is a huge event for us, and it goes a long ways to help keep our tuition low and also give the teachers, the staff, and the students the things they need to be successful.
Thanks so much, Mr. Klein.
And now we've got the magic from our sponsors. Stay tuned, we'll be back right after the break. Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now is 5th grader Eli Scott informing us on Tuesday night's DARE graduation.
On Tuesday night, 5th graders from Marquette and Bellevue Elementary congregated in the MEC at 7 p.m. for this year's DARE graduation celebration. The DARE, or Drug Abuse Resistant Education Program, was founded in Los Angeles in 1983. The nationwide program teaches students how to resist peer pressure and say no to drugs, gangs, and violence. Thank you to Bellevue Officer Bud Schrader, who met weekly with all of the Marquette and Bellevue 5th grade students and who led the program. In preparation for Tuesday's DARE graduation, all 42 5th grade students wrote personal commitment letters about topics discussed during DARE. Here's part of my essay. Don't be a zero, be a DARE hero. Why do people do drugs? I think drugs are very bad because some people die from drugs, and they can also go to jail for doing illegal drugs. Sometimes people can't control themselves and can be mean to people for no reason. I think people do drugs because they want to act cool or someone forced them to do it. People make up random excuses for why they do drugs so that they don't get in trouble. That's why I think people should not do drugs. Changing the subject, not doing drugs, and telling an adult are all ways I could be a DARE hero. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Eli Scott.
Thanks, Eli. Up next is Justina telling us all about Take 6.
On Wednesday, April 4th, Take 6 will be performing at Marquette from 1 to 2. Some information about Take Six. They are a gospel a cappella group formed in 1980. The group sings contemporary R&B style, integrating jazz influences with spiritual or inspirational lyrics. They are the most awarded a cappella group in history, with 10 Grammys, 10 Gospel Music Awards, and Best Jazz Vocal Group honors for 7 consecutive years in Downbeat's prestigious Readers and Critics poll, just to name a few. The names of the group members are David Thomas, Christian Dentley, Mervyn Warren, Cedric Dent, Joey Kibble, Alvin Shee, Mark Kibble, and Claude McKnight. What a great way for Marquette students to be welcomed back from Easter. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Justina Denlinger.
Thanks, Justina. Up next are Jeb and Garrett with the Sports Report.
Thanks, Hallie. For this week's edition of the Sports Report, we'll be recapping past records and stats from Marquette's spring sports history.
First, in co-ed soccer, the 2003 season brought Marquette the most wins in a season with 23 total wins.
However, the Marquette team scored their most goals in a season, 61, as well as in a game, 9, in the 2015 season.
In this season, the team also had 6 shutouts, which is a season record as well.
This year, Marquette's newly formed girls team will also have the chance to record many new records of their own.
For track, Josh Maurer holds the boys' record for the 100-meter dash with a time of 11.9 seconds, while the girls' record belongs to Hannah Ray with a time of 15.32 seconds.
Nate Gerlach has the record for the 110-meter hurdles with 15.61 seconds, while Marissa Schrader holds the girls' 100-meter hurdle record at 17.07 seconds.
Carter Kilberg's 24 seconds holds the record for the boys' 200-meter dash, while Alyssa Kramer holds the girls' 200 and 400 records with 28.13 seconds and a minute and 3 seconds, respectively.
The boys' 400-meter record is held by Michael Peters, who ran a time of 55.87 seconds.
Danny Schrader holds the boys' 800 and 1600-meter records with times of 2 minutes and 4 seconds and 4 minutes and 39 seconds, respectively. And Alyssa Kramer holds the girls' 800 and 1500-meter records with times of 2 minutes and 25 seconds and 5 minutes and 2 seconds, respectively.
And Lucas Schmidt holds the boys' 3200-meter record at 10:09, while Hallie Kilberg holds the girls' 3000-meter record with 11:07.
In field events, Ben Kettman holds the record for both shot put and discus, with throws of 37 feet and 8 inches and 105 feet and 9 inches.
For girls, Callie Jackson holds the shot put record at 28 feet 8.5 inches, and Tori Mickle has a record discus throw at 80 feet 8 inches.
Boys' long jump is held by Tanner Sieverding with a jump of 21 feet and 8 inches, and girls by Marissa Schrader with a distance of 14 feet and 6 inches.
And boys' high jump is held by Caleb Schrader with a jump of 6'2". Amanda and Ashley Coos both hold the girls' record at 4'4".
Finally, in golf, the boys' team has qualified for districts 6 years in a row from 1998 to 2003.
The highest state finish by an individual Marquette girl golfer was 4th place, which was achieved once by Katie Ray and 3 times by Carly Jacobs. Until the next records are broken, for Marquette in Motion, this has been Jeb Schwager
And Garrett Krieg
with your Marquette Sports Report.
Thanks, guys. And just for the record, we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now are Molly and Maura interviewing senior Nate Brinker.
Hi, I'm Maura Tracy.
And I'm Molly Minster. We are here with our senior interview, Nate Brinker.
What extracurricular activities do you participate here at Marquette?
I participate in basketball, soccer, and baseball.
What has been your favorite activity?
Baseball, because it's during the summer, and I really like that time of year, and baseball's my favorite sport.
Do you have a favorite memory from your time here at Marquette?
Senior year in general is going to be a pretty good memory, and that's probably my favorite one. So just this whole year has been a good memory.
If you could go back in time, what grade level would you want to go to?
I don't think I would go back in time. I think I like my grade level that I'm at right now, and I'm ready to graduate, so I think I'll just stick with grade 12.
Who has been your greatest role model throughout your high school experience?
I would have to say that my parents have been my greatest role models throughout my high school experiences because they've always supported me no matter what I did, and they've always backed me up on everything I did, so I really am thankful for them and everything they've done for me throughout my whole career at Marquette.
What is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject this year is probably financial math, just because I like dealing with numbers that have to do with finances, and I think it's interesting because it's stuff that I'm going to use in my everyday life after I graduate from high school.
Who is your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher is Mr. Bishop, just because of his style of teaching, and he really finds ways to make his classes interesting and fun at the same time, and you also learn a lot in them, so I really like Mr. Bishop.
Since a new quarter started this Monday, what would you say the hardest thing is about starting a new quarter?
The hardest thing about starting a new quarter, especially the fourth quarter of your senior year, is just to remember to keep doing your schoolwork so you can graduate on time, because it gets really easy to not do homework your last quarter of high school, so as long as you can remember to do your homework.
What emotions are you feeling about it being your last quarter of high school?
It's a little bittersweet. I'm going to miss some of my friends from high school and some of the activities at Marquette, but for the most part, I'm very excited to graduate and move on to the next stage of my life.
Finally, is there advice or a quote you'd like to leave us with today?
If I could leave high schoolers today with any advice, it would be to just enjoy whatever grade level you're in and enjoy whatever you're doing, because if you wish high school away, it goes by very fast and you'll be sad when it's over. So just enjoy whatever you're doing right now.
From Marquette in Motion, this has been Maura Tracy
and Molly Minster with this week's senior interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, girls. And now, to wrap up the show, Miranda and I will be looking ahead.
Today, the boys' soccer team is competing in a tournament at Solon.
Marquette students have no school on Monday or Tuesday for their Easter break.
Tuesday is the first Marquette girls' soccer game, which will be at Wahlert starting at 4:15 p.m.
Also Tuesday, there will be a boys' track meet at Edgewood starting at 4:30 p.m.
And there will be a JV and varsity boys and girls golf meet at Cowee starting at 4 p.m.
On Wednesday, there will be the Take 6 performance. There will also be a PTO meeting at 6:30 p.m.
And there will be a youth group meeting at 7:30 in the rectory basement.
Thursday, April 5th, there will be a boys and girls soccer game at home versus DeWitt starting at 4 o'clock.
Friday, there will be a boys and girls track meet at Beckman starting at 4:30 p.m.
There will also be a JV and varsity golf meet at home against Easton Valley starting at 4 o'clock p.m.
Also on Friday, there will be Battle of the Books in the Media Center for grades 3rd through 7th.
Friday night will be the Magic of Children preview.
And Saturday night will be the Magic of Children fundraising event.
Until then, for Marquette in Motion, this has been Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
in motion.